Okay, so you're obviously the perfect person to have here today. You study this all the time, the mind of crazy people who do horrible things. I'm always interested to know how people like the people we caught today up in Boston can have two minds going at the same time. I mean, if you read what the older brother wrote on his on the internet, he said his worldview, Islam, personal priorities, career and money. And we see this a lot. I mean, the 9/11 hijackers went to strip clubs the night before they got on the plane.
But could I just interject? Look, it's not like people who are Muslim who do wacky things have a monopoly on it. We have hypocrites across faiths, Jewish, Christian, who say they're out for God and they end up doing nice things.
You know what? That's liberal bullshit right there. I mean, yes, all
there are no
faith
Christian
is
hypocrites.
No, there are.
You made
they're
a career
just
on that.
they're not as dangerous. I mean, there's only one faith, for example, that kills you or wants to kill you if you draw a bad cartoon of the prophet. There's only one faith that kills you or wants to kill you if you renounce the faith. An ex-Muslim is a very dangerous thing. Talk to Salman Rushdie after the show about Christian versus Islam. So, you know, I'm just saying, let's keep it real.
Well, I guess I have a girl for you, Pam Geller, you could maybe meet. No, I really disagree with you.
I don't know what that means.
Well, she's an Islamophobe. But I'm
not an Islamophobe. That's wrong. I am a truth lover. All religions are not alike. As many people have pointed out, the Book of Mormon, did you see the show?
No, it's hard to get tickets.
Okay. Can you imagine if they did the Book of Islam? Could they do that? There's only one religion that threatens violence and carries it out for things like that. Could they do the Book of Islam on Broadway?
Possibly so, but
possibly so. Tell me what color the sky is in your world.
Of course, you can do a Quran version of the Book of Mormon. The only reason they don't is that a lot of people are allergic to death threats and having their theaters blown up. Sure, you don't want to sound like that guy mentioned, Geller, Pamela Geller. You don't want to sound like all these racists who hate the Muslims for just being Muslim, and clearly are bigots. Now, some people, sadly, a lot of them, people I politically agree with, they'd say, well, no, it's the foreign policy. It's the foreign policy of the United States is why these things are happening. And certainly, the Muslims who just blew up Boston would assert that the foreign policy of the United States, and a lot of the latest guys, you know, the underwear bomber, I believe, and whatever the other guys, there's so many who can keep up. But, and we can't leave this out, they also say their religion is part of the reason they're doing it. Why are we only listening to one? Now, granted, yes, there's plenty on the right who only want to hear about the religious part, and that's only because they hate Muslims. In fact, what these are Christians who think somehow their made-up sky daddy is the more acceptable one, and the Muslims are the lunatics. Well, of course, they're all insane. However, let's not pretend that Islam plays no factor in any of this. That is also nonsense. The Muslim part can't be kept out. They're bringing it up. They're saying it. You can't pretend that they're not saying it. And by the way, if it was just foreign policy, can you please explain to me why someone like Molly Norris, the woman who invented Everybody Draw Muhammad Day, or at least one of the people, whatever, had to go on the run, got put on an Islamic hit list because she did this? What about Lars Vilk or Theo Van Gogh or any number of people who have been murdered simply for offending Islam? Not for the foreign policy, not for supporting Israel, not for doing anything having to do with foreign policy, and they're still dead or got death threats and on the run because of Islam. Islam is a problem. Now, that doesn't mean that people or Muslims should lose their rights. No one thinks, well, hopefully no one believes that every Catholic should be put in prison because they've got a pedo issue. I certainly don't think that people need to be detained or put in surveillance because they're Jewish and they might support Israel, even though Israel is, by my estimation, an imperialist state. A Jewish state? Really? Come on, stop it. I wouldn't support a Muslim state. I wouldn't support a Christian state. I wouldn't support a Jewish state. Why is that one okay? I don't get that. Okay. No one thinks that Christians should all be blamed for abortion clinic bombings or for the Westboro Baptist Church. I get that, and they're absolutely right. Individually, no one should bother people who've done nothing. And certainly, our drone strikes and our foreign policy play a factor in all this. I mean, we're sending drones over and killing people for the only crime being that they're on a list invented by the United States. And that's it. We don't know what they've been charged with. We don't know if they even committed a crime. We just know they're killing them. Yay! So, absolutely, foreign policy plays a factor. But again, the Muslims themselves are saying that their religion is telling them to do these things. So that can't be kept out of the equation. And shouldn't be the whole equation, but it shouldn't be out of it altogether either. There is a problem with Islam that you're just not getting with the other religions. That isn't to say other religions don't have problems, but they're just not blowing things up right now. There was one time Catholics blew up a lot of shit. Yes, this happened, did it not? At one time Jews would occasionally blow up a few things. Yes, this did happen. Now we have Muslims wanting to blow shit up. Some of it we understand. Yes, again, foreign policy plays a factor in it, but nonetheless, and again, this is according to the people who get captured and put in jail and get interviewed, say Islam is also the reason. I don't like the bomb strikes. I don't like you supporting Israel. I don't like all these other things. But in addition to that, it's because of my faith. I don't think that if they think the faith should be mentioned, I think we should too.